Immortal, the final blueprint of greatness. How LeBron James and you can redefine greatness for the next era. By Carlos Credle, born 1985, the class of adaptation. Contents prologue. The debate that never dies. Chapter 1, the GOAT myth. Chapter 2, the fifth ring moment. Chapter 3, the numbers that bent the matrix. Chapter 4, from player to power. Chapter 5, the new killer instinct. Chapter 6, the laws of immortality. Chapter 7, the age of GOAT humans. Epilogue, when the crown turns to gold. Final words, acknowledgements. Author's note, sources and notes. Appendix A, the immortality equation. Visual companion. Appendix B, the Immortal 30-day challenge. Prologue, the debate that never dies. Every barbershop carries the same hum. Who's the GOAT? The names change, but the ritual never does. Jordan versus LeBron. Perfection versus endurance. Highlight versus timeline. I wrote this book a few days away from turning 40, watching LeBron begin his 23rd season. He wasn't supposed to be there. No athlete is. Bodies break, brands fade, attention shifts, yet he keeps adapting. New role, new rhythm, new fuel. Watching him evolve made me see greatness differently. Greatness isn't a mountaintop, it's an engine. Built, tuned, and tested daily. Peaks end, engines adapt. The goal isn't to arrive once, it's to keep climbing through every version of yourself. This isn't worship, it's architecture. What happens when discipline, design, and purpose align? LeBron is the case study. The lessons belong to you. If you're 20 and hungry, this book is your compass. If you're 40 and unfinished, it's your spark. Somewhere between endurance and reinvention lies immortality. Jordan perfected greatness. LeBron industrialized it. Now it's your turn to operationalize it. Chapter 1. The GOAT myth. Perfection is dead. Adaptation wins. Every generation builds idols and arguments. Jordan versus LeBron, talent versus durability. But the real debate isn't about players. It's about what kind of greatness we reward. When I was young, the argument lived in driveways. Jordan, after a fadeaway. LeBron, on a fast break. It wasn't about stats. It was about belief. Each kid silently asking, how far can a person go before time wins? Greatness once meant flawlessness. 6 rings, no weakness, no scandal. But perfection is brittle, and the 21st century killed that myth. Cameras never blink. Comments never sleep. One slip and the statue cracks. LeBron entered during exposure, not mystery. Every dunk, miss, tweet, and rumor lived forever online, and he still grew stronger. He turned mistakes into upgrades and replaced image with evolution. Perfection inspires awe. Adaptation builds trust. Greatness used to belong to moments. Now it belongs to mechanisms. Jordan ruled through mystique. LeBron rules through maintenance. He's been elite at 17, 27, and 37. Proof that greatness is a moving system, not a frozen frame. The modern metric isn't height, it's half-life. Athlete, artist, entrepreneur, everyone faces the same test. Who adapts faster than the environment changes? The flawless hero died with the rise of data. We track everything now. Views, steps, sales, sleep. One misstep can erase a decade, yet look who lasts. Serena Williams, Tom Brady, Beyoncé, different fields, same formula, update or expire. Greatness today is open source. The playbook is public. The modern GOAT isn't flawless. They're unfinished. They fail publicly and rebuild openly. LeBron's reel isn't plays, it's patches and updates. He turned the staying power into the loudest flex of all. Future generations won't remember who burned brightest. They'll remember who burned longest. You carry 2 forces, your Jordan and your LeBron. Jordan wants domination now. LeBron wants design that lasts. One gets applause. The other gets history. When you chase success, ask, am I building a moment or a framework? The difference between viral and vital is patience. Strip away jerseys and cameras and you see it clearly. Greatness is design. LeBron treated his career like a startup. Test, learn, pivot, relaunch. That's why he's still in beta after 2 decades. Durability is a skill you can train. The power to stay relevant long after hype fades. Greatness isn't genetic, it's procedural. LeBron's methods can rebuild anything. A business, a dream, a mindset. What we call legendary is usually well-documented adaptation. Jordan taught us altitude. LeBron teaches us duration, fire versus fuel. Greatness isn't applause. It's architecture that survives silence. The GOAT isn't the one who wins without loss. It's the one who grows beyond comparison. Chapter 2. The fifth ring moment. Every legend needs punctuation. A moment that says, I didn't just survive, I mastered the storm. For LeBron, that symbol is the fifth ring. Not jewelry, but meaning. Proof that endurance is genius. Picture it. A 40-year-old man walking into an arena, knees taped, mind clear. He's seen every era, from tape to TikTok, and he's still here. That's what immortality looks like in motion. We all carry a personal fifth ring. The moment purpose meets patience. For some, it's freedom. For others, forgiveness. For most, completion. LeBron's version might be a title. Yours might be healing, launching, or graduating. Mine started in 2003. A letter from Frostburg State sat on my desk. Division III football. I was a linebacker, the hardest hitter on my team, but pride whispered, too small. I turned it down, went to UMES instead, and never played football again. That decision haunted me, not because of sports, but because ego made the call. That was the first lost ring, humility. By 2009, I was broke and behind, studying biology, couldn't afford books, sometimes skipped meals, but I showed up. Graduation day came and I crossed that stage. That walk was my parade, no cameras, no cheers, just proof that persistence outlives pain. That was my first personal fifth ring. By 2017, I was in biotech, corporate America. Low pay, low ceiling. I trained supervisors who earned double, and most of them didn't look like me. I quit. I bet on myself. Real estate, mortgages, entrepreneurship. By 2025, that gamble became an ecosystem. That pivot was my resurrection. Every redemption follows the same rhythm. Realization, truth hits harder than failure. Reconstruction, rebuild what pride ignored. Repetition, consistency erases history. Reemergence, quiet strength replaces noise. LeBron lived that cycle on public screens. His legacy proves resurrection scales. Maybe his fifth ring happens beside Bronny. Father and son, same mission. Continuity as immortality passed by example. The world needs proof that durability still wins, that patience still pays, that staying power is beautiful. Everyone has a fifth ring, the thing unfinished, the dream rehearsed in silence. Completion is coming, but only if you keep showing up. LeBron may never need a fifth ring to prove anything. He already proved that longevity itself can be legendary. The rest of us only need to listen. The fifth ring isn't a trophy, it's a timeline conquered. Chapter 3. The numbers that bent the matrix. Every highlight shows who won, the data shows why. Most chase moments. LeBron built machinery. He didn't beat time, he partnered with it. This isn't myth, it's math. 20-plus seasons, 38,000 points, top 5 in assists, still efficient when most peers are retired. He turned his career into a compounding algorithm. Discipline is design, not punishment. Every innovator shares one power, pattern recognition. LeBron studies losses, not highlights. Each offseason becomes a lab where he reviews failure, rebuilds counter moves, and refines until it's automatic. He lives in permanent. Beta, always updating. Motivation spikes, but engineering scales. Most depend on emotion. He depends on metrics. When your process runs regardless of mood, you become unstoppable. Clutch isn't the last shot. It's showing up for 20 years without scandal or collapse. Maintenance became his masterpiece. Better sleep, smarter nutrition, shorter memory. The crowd sees glory. He sees blueprints. By the time you see results, the data's old. Numbers expose excuses. He knows his sleep hours, workload, recovery rate. Do you know yours? If you don't track it, you can't transform it. Effort compounds. Feedback is oxygen. Ritual beats hype. Upgrade inputs and you upgrade outputs. Iterate faster than fatigue. That's how you bend your own matrix. By writing code your future self can run. Each night ask, what did I measure today? What repeated result am I proud of? What leak drained momentum? Track, adjust, repeat. Dashboards beat daydreams. Every early workout, skip distraction, and recovery nap is a micro-deposit into your future. Intensity burns. Consistency builds. That's the secret compound interest of greatness. LeBron didn't chase records. Records chased him. You're not looking at talent. You're looking at 20 years of kept promises. He didn't break the matrix. He learned how to program it. Chapter 4. From Player to Power. Every performer meets a cliff. The lights dim, the crowd moves on, and the question becomes, what now? Most fade because they built for applause, not permanence. LeBron built for continuity. He traded arenas for ownership, trophies for equity, and fame for frameworks. He stopped chasing relevance and started manufacturing it. That's the transformation from player to power. Applause feels good until it becomes oxygen. Many never recover from that addiction. They perform for validation until silence kills them. LeBron saw that trap early. He realized trophies gather dust, but infrastructure compounds, so he stopped performing and started producing. That's when a legend became a legacy. Midway through his career, he stopped asking, what can I win next? And started asking, what can I build that wins without me? Media companies, schools, equity, and franchises. Each decision obeyed one law. Discipline plus iteration equals compounding results. He wasn't leaving the game. He was scaling it. He turned influence into infrastructure, name into equity, purpose into power, team into trust, and legacy into liquidity. That's how an empire breathes, not through domination, but through design. In 2017, I faced my pivot. I was in biotech, training managers who made double my pay. Most didn't have my degree. I realized I wasn't building ownership. I was maintaining someone else's. I quit and started my real estate team under Samson Properties. It was messy, unstable, exhausting, but it was mine. Layer by layer, real estate, mortgages, insurance, automation, storytelling. By 2025, it became an ecosystem. The Credle Group, not a job, a design. The law of legacy is simple. You can't scale hustle. You can only scale architecture. Power isn't domination, it's distribution. LeBron proved that through partnership, Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, Randy Mims, friends turned founders. He didn't hire followers, he trained builders. Convert loyalty into literacy, belief into business. Followers fade, builders compound. Fame is fragile. Institutions are fireproof. A brand depends on attention, an institution creates it. Spring Hill, Uninterrupted, Fenway Sports, the I Promise School. These weren't diversification, they were durability. If your income stops when you rest, you build a cage, not a company. The world thinks success is when everyone knows your name. Real success is when your name works while you rest. Who owns the channels where your work lives? Who controls your audience and revenue? Could your system operate if you disappeared for 6 months? Ownership isn't arrogance, it's armor. Hustle drains, purpose replenishes. The difference between motion and momentum is meaning. Empires like Disney, Tesla, and Rock Nation run on narrative fuel. Purpose powers sustainability, which is why LeBron's projects orbit education and empowerment. When your mission feeds others, the market feeds you. You stand at the same crossroad. Stay a performer or become the platform. Performers chase attention. Architects design ecosystems. Document. Delegate design. Freedom isn't retirement, it's replication. When what you've built keeps producing after you stop pushing, you've crossed into legacy. Legacy isn't a headline, it's a timeline. Empires aren't announced. They're accrued. If others must rent what you built, you've already won. That's how immortality starts. Not with statues, but with systems. You can't stay a player forever. At some point, you have to become the power. Chapter 5. The New Killer Instinct. There was a time when greatness was loud. Roars after dunks, chest pounds, fire and fury. But noise fades, and the real assassins learn to whisper. LeBron's weapon isn't rage, it's rhythm. He doesn't chase chaos, he controls it. That's the new killer instinct. Jordan ruled through dominance, anger, and explosion. LeBron grew up in the age of algorithms, where every emotion became a headline. He learned to weaponize restraint. Stillness became his edge. Control became his charisma. Anger wins battles. Clarity wins kingdoms. The strongest aren't those who react fastest, but those who recalibrate first. LeBron's calm isn't passivity, it's programming. Every play becomes data. Every reaction is intentional. He regulates chaos like temperature. When others panic, he observes. When others rush, he reads. Immortality demands energy efficiency. No leaks, no wasted emotion, and composure as command is the modern killer instinct. The calm mind sees more. He sacrifices possessions to win seasons, smiles at boos, shrugs at losses, and knows silence unsettles the insecure. Stillness as aggression. You can't read the room if you're screaming in it. While critics talk, he tweaks. While others post, he programs. Focus compounds like interest. Distraction bleeds like debt. Every minute saved from drama becomes another year of relevance. Quiet beats loud because noise fades. Systems don't. Empires don't die from competition. They decay from ego. He treats emotion like currency and invests wisely in family, recovery, team morale, avoiding emotional debt. Leadership today isn't dominance. It's emotional regulation. You can't lead a team if you can't lead your chemistry. Ruthless used to mean cold. Now it means consistent. Showing up every day with the same hunger 20 years in. Finishing when no one's filming. Executing while bored. Old killers chased blood. New killers chase frameworks. I learned this in business when I mistook passion for progress. Every problem felt urgent, every setback personal. Emotion is expensive. Calm is currency. It wins better clients, sharpens focus, and attracts confidence. People follow the calm, observe before acting, respond with rhythm, detach to decide, reinvest focus daily, recover quickly, and forgive faster. The loud era is ending. The next generation of greatness will be surgical, silent, intentional. The true killer isn't angry, he's aligned. Old killers sought chaos. New killers create clarity. Chapter 6. The Laws of Immortality. Immortality isn't magic, it's math. Small disciplines repeated until they look divine. LeBron turned it into a blueprint. You can turn it into a lifestyle. The equation is simple. Vision plus discipline plus purpose equals timeless impact. Each variable multiplies the others. Remove one and the system collapses. Immortality isn't living forever. It's building something that does. Vision means seeing 10 years ahead, playing for. Sequels, not seasons. Zooming out while staying precise. Preparing, not predicting. When I started the Credle Group, I didn't see a real estate team. I saw an ecosystem. Discipline is mastering the boring. Sleep tracked, diet measured, workouts logged. Because when excitement fades, discipline carries the weight. Dashboards and daily tracking make growth predictable. Purpose builds beyond yourself, converting ambition into contribution. Power hoarded dies fast. Power shared scales infinitely. When my brand became our mission, profit turned to peace. Adapt relentlessly. Schedule evolution. Audit systems. Retire what's obsolete. You can't become timeless if you're scared to update. Steward energy. Time gets credit. Energy does the work. Measure sleep, output, recovery. Budget intensity like a CEO. Document your design. Legacy dies undocumented. Record the frameworks and teach the system. Blueprints outlive builders. Build in silence and launch in sound. Incubate privately, reveal strategically. Because by the time the world sees it, the work is already old to the creator. Put together, vision provides direction for long-term focus. Discipline executes for predictable growth. Purpose fuels sustainable impact. Adaptation updates for relevance. Energy management drives longevity. Documentation preserves a transferable legacy. And silence protects incubation for strategic reveal. Your immortality starts now. Vision is a muscle. Discipline is a practice. Purpose is a promise. Each day you decide how much of yourself will still exist 10 years from now. Will you build moments or machinery, approval or architecture? Start with one process that runs without you, then another, then another. That's how humans become institutions. Vision sees the future. Discipline builds it. Purpose keeps it alive. Chapter 7. The Age of GOAT Humans. We're entering a new era where greatness is no longer rare. Access replaces advantage. Talent multiplies through technology. Persistence becomes programmable. LeBron didn't just redefine the athlete. He redefined what it means to be human in public. His career became a live experiment in durability. Discipline times, data times direction, proving he isn't a glitch in the system, but the prototype of a new kind of achiever, the G.O.A.T human. Once legends were untouchable, distant clips and mythic interviews, worshipped because they were unreachable. Now greatness is open source. Anyone with Wi-Fi and willpower can study the code. The new elite don't guard the playbook, they publish it. LeBron showed us how to evolve from dominance to duplication. Real greatness isn't about being the only one who can. It's about building a world where everyone can. The ultimate power is turning excellence into a transferable system. The spectator age is dying. We used to watch, now we participate. Courts became content. Arenas became timelines. Scoreboards became stories. The new scoreboard isn't points, it's impact. Lives improved, skills mastered, systems built, people empowered, futures unlocked. Legacy isn't applause anymore. It's replication. What you build in others becomes your immortality. The future belongs to hybrids, art and analytics, emotion and execution, spirituality and structure, heart and hustle. Meditate, then monetize. Heal, then lead. Code, then create. LeBron speaks both languages, body and business, purpose and profit, fluent in duality. The myth of the lone genius is over. This renaissance runs on collaboration. He didn't win alone. He built a collective, Maverick, Rich, Randy, brotherhood into infrastructure. Shared vision and shared growth create shared immortality. Empires are ecosystems. No one wins alone anymore. GOAT humans multiply leadership. They don't gatekeep information. They don't seek followers. They create founders. Mentorship, automation, and networks that never sleep carry the way forward. One person's discipline can inspire thousands. One blueprint can scale globally in hours. Immortality isn't about lasting forever. It's about being copied correctly. You are now the prototype. Every choice, every system, every lesson you pass down expands the human equation. LeBron didn't close the G.O.A.T debate. He moved it from the court to the collective. The question isn't who is the greatest, it's who else will evolve. Greatness is no longer an event, it's a contagion, and you are next in line. The future won't worship icons, it will study blueprints. Epilogue. When the crown turns to gold. The real crown isn't worn, it's earned. It appears when mastery becomes mentorship, when ego dissolves into ecosystem, when greatness turns into guidance. LeBron's story is no longer about dominance, it's about durability. He built an empire that can survive his exit, and that's the real victory. Gold symbolizes permanence. It doesn't rust, fade, or age, and that's what legacy becomes when built on purpose and process. It shines quietly long after the spotlight burns out. Your crown turns to gold when your system sustains others, when what you built continues without your push. That's immortality in its purest form. Not living forever, but leaving something that does. The goal isn't to live forever, It's to build something that can. Final words. You were never meant to stay the same. Every version of you was a rehearsal for the next. The world doesn't need more perfection. It needs more architecture. Stop performing and start producing. Design systems that feed your family, fund your mission, and fuel your peace. LeBron did it on a court. You can do it anywhere. Greatness is a structure, not a status. Build yours. Acknowledgements. To every builder, dreamer, and underdog who outlasted doubt, thank you. To my family and mentors who believed when no one else did, this foundation carries your fingerprints. To every reader chasing their fifth ring, keep going. You're closer than you think. And to my early supporters, my creative team, and everyone who helped turn reflection into framework, this book is for those who keep showing up. Author's note, I wrote this book at a turning point, 40 years old, looking back on 2 decades of trial, risk, and reinvention. Watching LeBron still evolve in his 23rd season made me realize that greatness isn't a season, it's a system. I wasn't writing about him, I was writing about all of us trying to outlast our own limits. If this book helps even one person build longer, lead smarter, or believe deeper, it did its job. Keep updating, keep iterating, keep living in version control. Carlos Credle, Sources and Notes. All statistics, dates, and performance records are based on publicly available NBA data and verified reports as of 2025. Cultural and business references are drawn from credible publications, interviews, and first-hand experiences for educational and commentary purposes. Appendix A, the immortality equation, visual companion. Vision plus discipline plus purpose equals timeless impact. Vision sees 10 years ahead. Discipline masters the boring. Purpose builds beyond yourself. Adaptation updates without ego. Energy guards your output. Documentation records your design. And silence incubates before you announce. Together, these principles form the Immortal framework, a design for those who plan to outlast trends, noise, and time. Appendix B, the Immortal 30-Day Challenge. This challenge turns the blueprint into behavior and acts as a monthly reset. In week 1, vision and awareness, you define your fifth ring, write a 10-year version of your life, audit your systems, eliminate one distraction, journal lessons from past losses, identify your next evolution point, and reset with 8 hours of sleep. In week 2, discipline and design, you create one daily process, track performance in numbers, not feelings, replace one emotional habit with a structural habit, practice saying no without guilt, schedule a non-negotiable work block, review nightly, and celebrate one micro win. In week 3, purpose and power, you help one person each day, share something valuable without expectation, reconnect with your why, simplify to the top 20% that matters, build or update a system that helps others, reflect on who benefits from your growth, and rest deliberately. In week 4, legacy and longevity, you document what works, teach one person your process, build something that can run without you, schedule a systems audit, refresh your energy through nature or stillness, record a reflection of your growth, and review the entire month to design version 2.0. The final promise. If you finish this book, you've already joined the new class of thinkers, the builders, not the believers. The next decade belongs to those who master durability, direction, and design. Keep evolving, keep building. Your story isn't finished, it's updating. Greatness isn't inherited, it's engineered.